Today is Sunday, the 14th of June, the year 2009. We are in the Assembly of Stars Meditation Hall, Lower Hamlet, during our 21-day retreat, the Path of the Buddha. We still have 7 more days together. Breathing in, I know we still have 7 more full days to be together with my Sangha. Breathing out, I rejoice. How do we know that an action is right? A thought is right, a speech is right, an action is right. There are those of us who say that we know that our action is right because what is brought by that action is good, is happiness. Thinking is right. Right thinking is right, because right thinking brings about well-being, happiness. Thinking is wrong. If thinking, because the thinking is wrong because it brings about ill-being, separation, despair. So we should look at the consequence in order to see, to determine whether the action is right or not. That is one very powerful tendency, trend of philosophy on ethics. The action is right because the consequence is good. It looks like the Buddha followed that line also when he taught the 4 Noble Truths. Because the first truth is a bad consequence, dukkha, ill-being. And there must be a way of living that can bring about ill-being and suffering. And that way of being is wrong. But the third noble truth is well-being, is the cessation of ill-being. And because the Noble Eightfold Path is right, that is why it can bring about the cessation of ill-being. It will bring about the presence of well-being. So it looks like that the 4 Noble Truths, the teaching of the Buddha, follow the line of that kind of thinking. The end justifies the means. The first Noble Truth is ill-being. The second Noble Truth is the path leading to ill-being. The path is not right, that is why it leads to ill-being. The third truth is well-being. Cessation of ill-being. And the fourth is the path leading to well-being. A noble path. The right path. The right path. So it looks like any path that leads to well-being is the right path. Any path that leads to ill-being is the wrong path. And the action can be determined by the consequence. And we automatically arrive at the thinking that the end justifies the means. It's very dangerous. You can kill. You can do anything. If that can bring about peace, then that can bring about happiness, satisfaction, and so on. So an action is right only when it brings what we like, we want. Suppose I want to be rich, and being rich is my happiness. So anything I can do that can bring me wealth is good. It's very dangerous. And that kind of thinking is called consequentialism. So you just state what you want as happiness, fame, power, wealth, anything you like as consequence. And you do whatever that can bring about that. That is consequentialism. But thinking deeply, reflecting deeply, we know that the Four Noble Truths is not that. Although we know that the second Noble Truth is the way, is action that the wrong action that leads to suffering, and the Fourth Noble Truth, which is the action that leads to well-being. It's like a couple. Two couples of cause and effect. This is the cause, this is the effect. And this is the cause, and this is the effect. The law of cause and effect. Nhân quả luân. Effect, cause. Effect, cause. Cause bring effect, cause bring effect. And I think that any kind of cause that can bring that to that effect is good. So it's kind of a little bit dangerous. In the late 18th century, we witnessed to a doctrine of ethics that will have a great influence on our modern time. It is called utilitarianism. That follow the line of consequentialism. And there are two names that we may like to remember. Jeremy Bentham. and John Stuart Mill. They are British philosopher, economist, lawyer. And according to them, there is only one ultimate principle. That is the principle of utility. 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 If it is helpful, if it brings pleasure and happiness, the action is called good. You don't need a God to tell you. You can use your own thinking, your own reason. You don't have to depend on abstract divine teaching. You don't need to listen to the advice, to the command of a God, or abstract teaching of religion. We just base on our intelligence, our thinking. What is good for us, we think what is good for us, and we just do the things that can bring about what we feel to be good to us, the happiness, the pleasure that we want. What kind of things do you want? I want social justice. I want peace. I want this and that. And you just state what you want in terms of consequence. And then you pass in review all kind of action, and whatever action that can bring the thing that you like, that is good action. You don't need a God to tell you. This is a very attractive thinking. Because first of all, you don't need, you don't have to refer to God and abstract moral codes written in heaven. We know that the Ten Commandments was written by fire on blocks of rocks, addicted by God, and that is more or less on the side of the theory of divine command. God's command. The theory of God's command, divine command, is comfortable to us. It's attractive because you don't have to think, you just follow. You just follow. You don't have to tire out in order to find what is right, what is wrong. You just follow. Very attractive. And the second advantage is that of utilitarianism is that the first one is you don't have to refer to God and abstract things written in heaven. The second is that we can determine by ourselves, self-determination. We are responsible. And the third beautiful aspect of this teaching given by Jeremy Bentham and John Samuel is that animals should be included, and what brings about suffering to animals we should not do. This is a good thing. This brings the teaching of utilitarianism very close to Buddhism, because in Buddhism we know that animals suffer and vegetables also suffer, although the degree of suffering of vegetables is lower, but the animals, they suffer as much as humans do. So animals are included, and we should not do anything in order to make animals suffer. Because if we don't have compassion to animals, we may not have compassion towards human beings. I think that is a good thing concerning this teaching. And the fourth attractive element in this teaching is we don't have to be too rigid. We can be flexible. Like the intentional killing, people say that it's always bad. But according to this teaching, sometimes it is good because it brings happiness. There's a family who live in an island in the Mediterranean Sea, and they went to England in order for the lady to give birth to a couple of twins. They went to the hospital of Manchester. And the children are twins. And the big one is called Jodie. The small one is called Mary. They are conjoined twins. They are stick together. The two girls only have one set of lungs, one heart. And the lower abdomen, they are linked together. The spinal column, they link to each other. And people know that they will die after being born. If they don't die stillborn, and then a few weeks later they will die. And when the twins were born, they know that they can survive for 3 or 4 weeks. Both of them. And Joe, the big one, which has who has the set of lungs and the heart, send the blood to nourish her younger sister. So the staff in the hospital advised the couple that they should do surgery to separate the two in order to be able to save at least one child, Joe. And in that case, Mary should die. But if they don't do that, they don't do the surgery, and then it's sure that both of them will die after 4 weeks. So the couple was very devout Catholics, and they did not want to kill Mary. And they know that if they don't kill Mary, they will kill also Joe, because that is what will happen. So they told the doctor that we should leave everything in the hands of God. We should leave it to nature. So nature will take its course and will determine. We don't have to decide. But the doctors did not agree. The doctor said it is possible to save the life of at least one. And that is why they petitioned the court. And the court allowed them to do the surgery. And they made the surgery, and they saved Joe, and of course Mary died. According to the teaching of the command of God, if God wants like both of them to die, and then you have to allow both of them to die. Here, you seem to have to kill one. But if you don't kill, they will die. Mary will die also. And not only Mary, but Joe also die. So if you are too stiff, you think that the intentional killing is wrong, and then you don't allow the surgery to take place, and both the children will die. So if you follow the line of thinking that at least you can save one of the two, and you have to accept the death of Mary, and then that is the best thing to do. Or if you think that it is our duty to always tell the truth, no matter what. You have to tell the truth, you have to be honest, no matter what. Like Elizabeth Anscombe said that there are things that cannot be done no matter what. Suppose you have to boil a baby in order to save the world. You cannot boil the baby. I cannot just boil a baby. So there are things that you cannot do no matter what. And thinking in that way, we can say that, well, dropping the bomb on Hiroshima will kill 140,000 people. Even if you can stop the war, you cannot do that. You intentionally kill. And that action is not right. According to the thinking of utilitarianism, any action that can bring about peace is a good action. Maybe dropping the bomb. But that is a more difficult question that needs applied ethics in order to solve. So the fourth attractive element of this teaching is that we can be flexible. We should not be dogmatic. We should be intelligent. We can open the door. And that is very close to the teaching of the Buddha. You can open the door. You may have, you may allow the exceptions. Khai. And the fifth element that is very attractive concerning this theory, this philosophy, is that we don't need to punish. We don't need punishment. Because punishment brings only pain and suffering. So the act of punishing is not right. Even the person has done wrong, you should not punish him. You should not make him suffer. And this thinking has had a very important impact on the correctional system in the world, especially in America. You do something to correct him, to transform him, to help him transform, good, but you should not punish him. You should not make him suffer. You should not torture him. You should not deprive him of comfort of living. So there are generations of people who run prisons who want to follow that line of teaching. They don't want to punish prisoners. They only bring these people who are killers, robbers, and so on, to a place where they will help them to transform. And instead of calling that place a prison, they call it a correctional house. A correctional house. Correctional center. And that is the effect of the teaching Jeremy Bentham. Correctional center. You are there not to be punished. You are there in order to be helped, to correct yourself, to transform yourself. The idea is beautiful. And in principle, the life of the inmate of this house should be conducted in a way that transformation, correction should be possible. You can teach them skills. You can train them as workers, specialists, artisans, and so on. You can help them to improve their knowledge. You can help them to be better educated. You can do anything, but the prison should not be a place to punish, but to help. Correctional house, correctional center. Intention is very good, but we don't know why it has not been successful at all, especially in the United States of America. Many of us believe that one person who has done wrong should be punished. We should be treated according to our action. If you kill, and then you should suffer capital punishment or many years of imprisonment. We should treat people according to their action. That is the other side, the other theory. when a member of our family is assassinated by someone, we want justice. We want that that person to be punished, to go to prison, to stay 30 years, 50 years in prison, and we feel much better. And if that person is not punished, we suffer. So many of us follow that line, that we should treat the person according to his or her act. And you have the tendency to do that. Suppose you have a neighbor that is very egoistic. One day your car did not work and you ask for a ride. When he goes for work, he can take you because your place or your workplace is very close, but he refuses. But there is another neighbor that is already always ready to help you. Every time your car has a problem, she always tries to help you. So suppose one day both of them have trouble with their cars, and your car is good, and you have one place, and which one do you want to take? You have the tendency to take the good one, so you want to treat people right, and that is our human tendency. So if people have stolen, people have killed, and if you don't punish them, if you allow them to learn and transform and correct, only many of us don't feel right. We want them to suffer. But in the Buddhist tradition, we are very close to Jeremy Bentham. We don't want people to suffer. We want them to correct, to improve, to change, to transform. But we should do it in a way that correction, transformation should be real, should be successful, and not like in the correctional centers in America. They don't transform. I think that because the administration is not trained properly. They should come to a 21-day retreat. They should learn how to speak with loving kindness. They should learn how to listen deeply to the suffering of the people inside. And then they will help them transform. If they get angry, if they get fearful, and then they cannot do the work of helping people, the inmate, to transform and to correct themselves. The intention is good, but they don't know how to do it. In the old time, the Buddhist temples used to ask for prisoners. We have got a sentence of 10 years or 20 years. And we say that we will guarantee that they will be able to transform them, to change them. So you are allowed to take 1 or 2 prisoners back to temple and ask them to do the work of the temple, to till the land, to cultivate the land, and we keep an eye on him. We ask him to come to the recitation of the 5 mindfulness trainings every fortnight. We ask him to follow a vegetarian diet at least 4 times a month. He asked them to come for a Dhamma talk. He take care of them when they get sick. We listen to them. We give them advice. It means we really do the work of helping that person. We just do not use them as a worker, man for man labor. And when the person reaches a certain age, we can help marry them with a lady in the daughter of a farmer in the village. In the case, he has become a nice person, and so on. So after we have proved that we have transformed completely the person, and then the government, the correctional authority will grant him freedom, and he can continue to work for the temple, or he can go and settle his own farm. And that is what the Buddhist temples in China, in Vietnam, in Korea did in the past, with a lot of success. And that follow the line of utilitarianism. Although this teaching is born only on the 18th century, but on the 2nd, 3rd century, we already began to do that in China, in Vietnam, and so on. We don't want to punish. We want only to help. Out of delusion, out of anger, they have done something bad. We want them to begin anew, to regret, but we don't need to make them suffer. So instead of being locked in a dark cell, we allow them to work in a field, breathing the air, and so on.